Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It is Tuesday, 13th of June, 2017. It is 8 o'clock on the nose. Tonight, we're dealing with issues of law enforcement, and failure of law. And so I thought I might as well dig up in the archives to bring back an old school teacher of mine, the mighty Short Pants, who penned this ditty a couple years ago. And because of his song, we've named tonight's show The Law is an Ass.
I hope it's true. They tell me how you reform me. 3 cheers to you, cause it's years no doubt.
Share the video.
Changing. I want to see justice shine out in this country. They said no fun when cases are won. We must feel that justice is done. It must be. Don't care how big, don't care how small. The law should be there for all. But if judges taking bribe to throw your case outside, then the law is on us. If when your case is called, no papers at all, then the law is on us. If policemen indeed selling and smoking weed, then the law is on us. And if the brilliant AG let all these things pass, we know the law is on us. Yes, if the brilliant AG let all these things pass, we know the law is on us.
Share it. Call everybody out. Tonight we hot like a pepper.
St. Vincent Street is the place where you should be starting. Lawyers real sweet, taking money and not appearing. Some so bold-faced, they don't even prepare your case.
If I tell you that that song is over 30 years old, lawyers taking money, not attending, not appearing, not preparing your case, we just had, the reality of the situation is the entire system of justice need a house cleaning, and we need somebody, we need a government and a parliament. We have a separation of powers, but we need to make sure that what exists as the justice system in this country is actually delivering justice. Yes?
I am afraid once they get paid, you could hang, they don't have it made. Is only call me SC, PC, no QC, and a ton loader, WC. If in East, West, North, and South, them barrister have tout, then the law is on us. If they winning cases by coaching witnesses to lie, then the law is on us. If it's them who really say Fenton Ramsey can't stay, then the law is on us. And if the law society let these things pass, we know the law is on us. Yes, if the law society let these things pass.
All your voter, no confidence. What happened then? Miss me with that, man. Theater? You voter, no confidence. Fire the man. Fire him.
What permanent was improper. Chief Justice say that ain't true. She is out of order. Hear what I say. One of them is a damn liar.
That's how you must speak.
Chilling me spine. The law must be blind up to now. None of them resign. Tell me why. That is the scum. The law has become only scandalum magnatum. If the taxpayer get nailed, cause on the jail ramish tail, then the law is on us. If Payol in Lafayette, Coast Guard plane and shoot none yet, then
30 years.
the law is on us. If the ombudsman pretends he can walk without a pen,
30 years.
the law is on us. And if
Faris Al-Rawi.
all these things pass, we know the law is on us. Yes, if
Iva Archie.
fix these things fast, we will know the law is on us.
30 years. Take jamming. That's how Calypso used to end long ago. Bruh. But listen, let me really talk the talk. Because the reality of our situation today, someone, I cannot disclose his name, he is here to work with a massive oil company, and he told me today, live on video, but live on audio, I couldn't show his face, I disguised his voice, we have never come close to getting value for our oil. We get cents. Somebody makes the big money, and he doesn't know who, because he says the arithmetic does not add up for the money that Trinidad is supposed to get. He says when he works out past, present, and future prices of a barrel of oil, knowing the production values of Trinidad and Tobago, we've never, as an economy, gotten more than 5%. And when he told me that today, I was in shock. I was in total shock. Never. Even the boom, he said that boom is joke. He said that boom is joke. You all have lost hundreds of billions of dollars that you've never known was yours. Besides the fact that we get a small piece of what we're supposed to get, and they thieving that too. Besides that, you see, you've never had a government. You've never ever had a real government. The People's National Movement is a clusterfuck. It is a organized criminal gang. The People's National Movement, Balize House, everything that's going on inside of there is organized to rob Trinidad and Tobago. Hold that. Red and ready. Hold that. Come at me. Come at me. Today, I have to deal with my lawyer, who is asking me to gag myself on one of the matters that I am dealing with. Now I realize it's an end run around the system, because what these sons of bitches want is to shut me up. But I want to say tonight, if I have to stand up in that court by myself, I will expose what's going on in this country. That is thuggery and bullying by court. And I will prove that to Trinidad and Tobago. So if I have to lose every lawyer in Trinidad and Tobago, stand up in that court by myself, I am going to prove you cannot just randomly sue somebody for defamation where they have no just cause at all. So we're going to have to deal with that. I am going to have to come again and read out the entire statement of claim and everything that is going on live in public, because it is a PNM appointed lawyer who sits on a PNM board, at least one, but he's a PNM lawyer representing PNM financiers that are trying to silence me. But I want to promise them something. As long as I have breath in my body, we go in. Down, up, sideways, we go in. And every institution, no more sacred cows in this country. We need to ask questions. What happens to our money? What happens then? What happens then? Here, what happened? Autopsy reveals cause of death. Family gets body. The results of an autopsy performed on the body of Christopher Phillip, the elderly man who suffered and died outside the Port of Spain General Hospital last week. $6.25 billion being spent this year by this nasty government, would not be made public until a full investigation is completed, says Northwest Regional Health Authority Chief Executive Officer Sheldon Cyrus. But the man died last week, Cyrus. The man died last week. You have cameras, you have logs, you have a security guard who's supposed to be making entry who come and go. You had a supervisor for the medical shift. How long does it take for you to decide how this man died? Or are you playing acceleration? Wait and see if they forget. Because I promise you, Cyrus, I promise you, we're not forgetting this. So he is the Chief Executive Officer of the Northwest Regional Health Authority. Who is the administrator of the hospital where the man died? Who was the shift supervisor? We're not getting that information, but we will ask, because we were supposed to go this Friday outside the hospital, but we end up with Ramadan and Corpus Christi, Eid and Corpus Christi back to back. So the people say, put off that protest, and I say no problem. But Christopher Phillip, you will get your protest, you will get your justice. We will go also outside National Insurance Board and ask the board, how come you're taking people health deductions and spending it by friends and family for disco financing in Siam nightclub? How come that is going on? How come that is going on? Cyrus told the Express that the autopsy was performed last week Friday, and after the man's relatives came forward to confirm his identity. He said, I don't want to say anything as yet until we do a full investigation. The autopsy is part of the full investigation, so we know the man dead. We know he dead, right? We know he dead. You now, your autopsy tell you how he dead. What we want to know is why he dead. He said a preliminary report was handed over to Health Minister Terence Deyalsingh last week Thursday. Well, you might as well have thrown that in a toilet, because you give it to a jackass. Today I will find out where the investigation is at this time and how long it will take to finish. Somebody tell me today they went to see Terence Deyalsingh today to ask him for help, to give them some assistance. They're trying to get eye surgery. They're on a list 10 years now. And Deyalsingh asked him, who is your member of parliament? He said, Imbert. He said, well, that's who you're supposed to go to. That's your Minister of Health. That's your Minister of Health. Red and ready? Miss me with that. Philip of Laventille, not of Westmoreland, not of Goodwood Park, not of Fairways, not of St. Clair, not of Valsayn. Philip of Laventille, because you see, when you're of Laventille, you could take jam. You're red and ready, take jam. Philip of Laventille was found dead on the lawn near the hospital's accident and emergency department last week, Wednesday. Later that day, a shocking video emerged on social media showing the final moments in his life. He was seen writhing in pain on the grass as hospital staff, patients, and visitors passed by. A conversation between two women on the video indicated that he was lifted and placed on the lawn by two security guards. The Port of Spain General Hospital was asked to submit a full report on the incident to the health minister by midday on Thursday. So, Jackass Deyalsingh now has the autopsy and he has the hospital report, I am assuming, because nobody's been fired. So, you ask them for a report by midday on Thursday. Responding to an urgent question from opposition Senator Wade Mark in the Senate on Thursday afternoon, Deyalsingh said no official at the NWRHA is to blame for his death. He said the gentleman was treated at the hospital twice that day and disappeared, although he was told to wait. He disappeared on his own volition. You see, it's all to blame, you know. It's all to blame. When you settle for jackassery instead of real representation, this is where you get. This is where you get. And the people of St. Joseph who vote this clown into office, you all have to take responsibility because he's a minister because of your vote. You should be outside his office calling for him to be fired. You should be ashamed. Rowley called for people yesterday to have shame because three little black hen chicken robber priests. He ain't care about nobody else and nothing else. Rowley ain't called for shame when that gentleman dead outside the hospital. Rowley, you ain't no shame. Next story. Next story today. Do you remember Tesha Henry? It has been 8 years. 8 years ago today, 10-year-old Tesha Henry left her home at Cook Street, Laventille, not Goodwood Park, not St. Clair, not Westmoreland, not Fairways, not Valsayn, Laventille, so she could take jam. 8 years ago today, 10-year-old Tesha Henry left her home at Cook Street, Laventille to run an errand. Her decomposing body was found 4 days later. The smell led people to it. Someone had taken her, strangled her. Someone had taken her, strangled her with bare hands and buried the body in a dirt hole under a dog house nearby. The killing was supposed to be the final straw. It could get no worse. The people of the area blamed rival gangs as the motive. John versus Block 8. The politicians spoke at length about the atrocity and what they would do about it. Outraged citizens demanded justice. They remembered the killings of 4-year-old Amy Anna Montudo, 6-year-old Sean Luke, and 6-year-old Kenya Cumberbatch, among others. Police promised to find the killers. They hunted the community after several suspects were identified. Reputed gang leader Dox McCarthy, 47, of Block 8 Laventille, was shot and killed in the area a month after Tesha murder. Police claimed he was a suspect in the child's death. No one was ever arrested, charged, or prosecuted. There is no longer an active investigation into the case. Justice by bullet in the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, we don't know who killed Docs. We don't know anything about the circumstances about Docs McCarthy, 47, who was shot and killed. But what we and the police are supposed to accept is Docs get killed, Docs killed Tesha, case closed. Yes? Yes? 18 years after a pool party, who killed Akil Chambers? Earlier this week, political activist Philip Alexander raised the issue again of the death of 11-year-old Akil Chambers on his Facebook page. It was a busy post with people interested in the topic. Alexander raised a hornet's nest, a sore point with a lot of people in Trinidad. No justice for Akil, whose life was snuffed out by a deranged man who has been able to roam the streets free as a bird without facing the courts. Akil was smothered to death on May 23, 1998, when he went to a birthday party at the home of Charles and Annalore James at Balata Trace, Highland Park, Marabal. A post-mortem revealed he was sexually assaulted and his body thrown in a pool more than 12 hours after he was reported missing. More than that, all the DNA evidence, a red bathing trunk and other items have been destroyed because of the age of the case. In other words, there is no DNA evidence in this case. Fact. Apart from the man who killed Akil, there is one person who knows about the matter. That person may have assisted in hiding Akil's body in a bedroom of that house. The person may have assisted the killer in throwing Akil's body in the pool 12 hours after he went missing. That person should be the prosecution's main witness. That person can be described as an accomplice after the fact. It is almost 18 years since Akil was killed, and according to the Homicide Bureau, that case is closed. That case is closed. Let me go forward. It ain't done. I want you to hear this one. This one. I want you to pay attention. I want you to tell everybody, join this video for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and hear. And listen why the name of the video tonight is The Law is an Ass. Tell everybody, come for 5 minutes. A bat and a ball together cost $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? This is not a question from a primary school test, but one of the questions in Section A of the 2017 Judicial and Legal Service Commission examination administered on January 12th this year, and which formed the basis for elevation of 5 people, including Chief Magistrate Marcia Ayers Cesar, to the High Court. The question was one of 3 in Section A of the exam under the heading Numerical Analysis. Candidates were reminded of the need to use proper language, correct spelling, standard grammar, and orderly, legible, and neat presentation of the work. This is not CPEP. This is how we are appointing judges in this land. The 1-hour exam was part of what had been described by Chief Justice Ivor Archie, who just appoint the next man. That one, I mean, people so fed up, they just appoint the next man he was messaging people porn or about porn and what kind of woman he like. And this is what now, passing for judges now. This is what you have to confront and resolve. Of the 5 people, the 1-hour exam was part of what has been described by Chief Justice Ivor Archie as a robust selection process by the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. Of the 5 people who went through the process, Ayers Cesar scored the 3rd highest. She come 3rd out of 5. And one of the questions are bat and a ball, $1.10. The bat costs $1. How much the ball cost? That's your judges. Ayers Cesar scored the 3rd highest mark of 164.92. Jacqueline Wilson scored the highest mark of 175.53, while Katian Waterman was next with 171.34. Kevin Ramcharan, 158.9, and Avasan Quinlan Williams, 155.549. Wife of Acting Police Commissioner Stephen Williams were 4th and 5th respectively. Ramcharan, Quinlan Williams, Wilson, and Waterman have all since been elevated to the High Court. Other questions in section A were, if it takes 5 machines 5 minutes to make 5 pipes, how long would it take 100 machines to make 100 pipes? While the second question was, in a lake, there is a patch of lily flowers. Every day the patch doubles in size. It takes 48 days for the patch to cover the entire lake. How long would it take for the patch to cover half the lake? Section B of the exam, under the heading General Knowledge, asked about the Brexit vote and the requirement of the UK government to give notice under Article 50 of the treaty to withdraw from the European Union. An action was instituted seeking an order to prevent the government from giving notice under Article 50. Applicants were asked whether they read the case. Hold 1 second. Applicants were asked whether they read the case in question, what was the main legal issue raised by the Secretary of State, and what was the decision of the court. The third section of the exam was titled Case Study. Applicants were asked to determine a case involving a 42-year-old salesman who instituted a proceeding against a woman whom he met outside KFC in Arima and whom he offered a ride home. Based on their conversation, he offered her $25,000 to complete her home, which was under construction. He alleged that she refused to repay the loan when the building was completed. Applicants were asked to study the details of the case and make their findings of fact and state the reasons for their conclusion. The objective, according to the tested document, was to observe their clarity of expression, analytical powers, and assessment of the evidence in arriving at their decision. The details of the judicial examination were released by the judiciary in compliance with an application under the Freedom of Information Act. The details were sent to Wayne Sturgis' attorney, Gerald Ramdeen, by attorney for the JLSC, Ian Roach, by letter dated June 8, 2017. The JLSC, through Roach, said the information relating to the scores of the successful judges was being released under Section 3 of the FOIA and cannot now reasonably claim that their names and examination scores constitute personal information. Ramdeen said the test shows that the body of persons who are constitutionally tasked with advising His Excellency Anthony Carmona as to the suitability of persons for appointments as judges of the Supreme Court are prepared in the discharge of their function to copy questions from the internet and use that as the examination of persons who have applied for such positions. It clearly demonstrates a lack of constitutional responsibility to the people of this country. The exam was set by C.J. Archie in his capacity as JLSC chairman. Members Justices Roger Hammersmith, Humphrey Stallmeyer, and the acting chairperson of the Public Service Commission, Parvati and Molsing Mahabir, who also marked the examination. However, the judiciary has refused to reveal information relating to applicants who failed to make the cut to sit on the bench, saying it needed to protect such applicants from reputational damage and any slur from not being selected, which may cause embarrassment and affect his or her standing among colleagues and even clients. And if you think that that is the reason for today's video being called "The Law is an Ass," this one here, after everything else you've heard before, this one here tells the people of Trinidad and Tobago we have a serious problem to address here, where the administration of justice in Trinidad and Tobago is concerned. We have a crisis of leadership in this country, and we have to face it and resolve it. I want you to hear this. Published Tuesday, June 13th, 2017. A retired police officer who 16 years ago raped a 17-year-old virgin in an office at the San Fernando Police Administration building after she went to make a report has been found guilty. That case took 16 years. That case of a man raping a woman in a police station took 16 years. What took so long? What about a court case? What about an investigation about a matter that took place inside a police station? Could have taken 16 years. What about an investigation into a police officer raping a citizen coming to make a report? Could have taken 16 years. What about a prosecution into a matter where a 50-year-old policeman raped a 17-year-old little girl in a police station? How that took 16 years? How it took 16 years? How does that matter take 16 years? Harry Ramlochan, who at the time was an acting sergeant and a prosecutor at the San Fernando Magistrates Court, is expected to be sentenced on June 28th. And I am asking again, how did that matter take 16 years? There should be an investigation into why that matter, a rape inside a police station by a policeman on a citizen, a young girl, why that would have taken 16 years. Because if that matter took 16 years, we up a creek. Ramlochan, 65, a grandfather of 5, went on trial almost a month ago in the San Fernando Second Assizes before Justice Althea Alexis Windsor after he pleaded not guilty. However, after an hour and a half of deliberation, the jury returned a guilty verdict. Ramlochan, who was out on bail, was taken into custody to await sentencing. That means for 16 years, that girl may have had the opportunity to encounter a rapist who raped her when she was a virgin. She had never known another man. Scarred her for life, robbed her of her dignity, assaulted her mind and her body. The incident took place on May 5th, 2001. The victim testified that she went with her mother to the police station to report that her father had beaten her mother. She said they met Ramlochan in the veranda and he took her mother inside the station to make the report. The victim said he came back outside and asked her if she had a boyfriend and if she wished she had someone to hug her up when the place is cold. The officer then told the mother he wanted to speak to the girl alone to take a statement from her. The woman said Ramlochan then led her to the dormitory in the station where he asked her if she ever had sex. The woman said she told him she was waiting until marriage. She said a police officer came into the dormitory but left when he saw them. The victim said Ramlochan then tried to hug and kiss her, but she pulled away. She recalled that the officer took her to the court's prosecutor's office where he asked her for change for $100, but she told him no. The victim said Ramlochan took her to a nearby bar to get change for the money, but he did not get any. She said he then stopped a taxi and they went by a street vendor who changed the money. On their return to the station, she said he told her mother he wanted to speak to her further and took the girl to the police canteen. She said he bought her a soft drink, then took a drink of scotch from some officers and offered her a drink, but she refused. The victim said he took her back to the office where he offered her money, but she refused and got up to leave. However, she said he got upset, closed the door, pushed her against a cabinet, and forcibly kissed her and bit her lips. The woman said she tried to get away, but he pushed her against the wall, pulled down her pants and underwear, and then pushed her on a piece of sponge on the ground where he raped her. He then dropped her and her mother home and took the father to a bar to speak about the report made against him. Ramlochan was subsequently charged by Inspector Christine McMillan. Ramlochan, however, denied he raped the girl. He said the girl's lips were swollen when she came to the station, and she had insisted that he charge her father. He said the girl told him that she tried to intervene when her mother and her father were fighting, and her father slapped her on the mouth. In asking for leniency, his attorney Kevin Ratiram said Ramlochan had 4 children, but 2 died, and he has 5 grandchildren, two of whom were the children of one of his dead sons. Ratiram said Ramlochan, who joined the police service in June 1972, raised those 2 grandchildren as his own children. Noting that Ramlochan had an unblemished record, he said Ramlochan was heavily involved in the church, pointing out several aggravating factors, including the victim's age, where the rape took place. He was a policeman, and the fact that the victim was a virgin. State prosecutor Sabrina Dugdeen Jaglal felt an appropriate sentence was 15 to 20 years. Ramlochan was also represented by attorney Chris Ramlal, while state attorney Sarah De Silva also prosecuted in the case. Now, you might be wondering why I read that whole disgusting report. But I read it so that you understood the nature of the matter and the information available to the investigating officers. And I'm trying to understand how a matter where the information could easily have been wrapped up in a short period of time took 16 years to bring to conclusion. Somewhere, the system is not working. Somewhere. Yesterday, Clyde Harvey get robbed. Today, the 3 little fellas in custody, brought to justice. This girl had to wait 16 years. Now I ask you, what is going on in the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of Trinidad and Tobago? What is going on? Because I can't explain to you tonight how our justice system works. Some things work expeditiously, like when you rob a priest. The next day, 24 hours, you're in custody. But you're a police officer and you rape somebody inside a police station who come to make a report to you. And that matter took 16 years. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand what's taking so long to find out who took Faris Al-Rawi's children to Kamutu, if the guns had magazines, if the magazines had bullets, who signed it out, if laws were broken. I don't know what's taking so long. I don't understand. Do you? Do you understand?
Say
I'm dialing two attorneys' numbers. I know they're watching the show because
But you too fast on your feet, and you know your way around the street. The way you're shifting from side to side, you can't get inside. Amen, right? Well, lion, well, bad man. Why you whine so I get on while in the people place? Well, rude boy, well, bad boy. Say you whine right down to the ground and mash up the place. All Caribbean, oh, oh, come inside the bed, all American. Oh, oh, come inside the bed, all Afghanistan. Oh, 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 the more the better, yet it's one world, a free world.
somebody write on my wall today. It's easier to get a flight to Syria to go and fight for ISIS than it is to go to Tobago.
Pushman jump in the line. He say what is yours is mine. Prima donna to help him move was a waste of time. So he said for Jennifer, a hip dancer, just to get him to move in time. But man, Jawa, he just Jawa. The lion, the bad man. Why you whine so I get on all in the people place? The rude boy.
Diana joins us on the telephone. Yet another major stakeholder. The chamber has been very vocal on this issue. Yesterday, the chamber members met, and according to what is coming out of that meeting, it's no better. In fact, the financial institutions are now moving in because business and business activity has almost ground to a halt in Tobago. Can they survive another 48 hours in this state? Ms. Arad, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Hugh. Morning from Trinidad and Tobago.
First of all, the promise of a Greek vessel. Are you in agreement? Do you know anything about this?
Well, let me say the first time I'm hearing about it is your clip that you just played. We met up to last night. We had our chamber meeting, and there was no information available at the meeting regarding any vessels. So, hearing that, I'm a little confused. But go ahead and question me on what what it is you would like to hear or know.
Now, so you have no idea about what this vessel is, where this vessel is coming from. There also was a statement made in that story from Kamal about the involvement of an inexperienced local broker, Watson Duke, saying that they will say no. He is saying that this vessel is smaller and ill-equipped to deal with the demands of this. But if you have had no consultation, are they just going to impose yet another solution?
Well, let me say that we have really heard nothing since our meeting with the Port Authority Board, Ms. Lewis and her team. We have heard not a word back from the Port Board.
Now that's the Tobago Chamber of Commerce. This jackass, your Prime Minister, is boasting to the nation that now that the PNM is in office, everything is rainbows and butterflies, and there is only good feelings and happiness in Tobago. But that was the Tobago Chamber of Commerce President Diane Haddad telling the nation that businesses are closing down. I told people the other day, there's a catamaran company, I can't remember the name, Island Girl or something, 21 years they're providing a service in Tobago. Shut down. Banks are now foreclosing on people's properties in Tobago. Businesses are being shut down and financial institutions are moving in to what is going on. Somebody sent me a picture Sunday night to show me what the airport looks like. And the airport is hundreds of people crammed into a small space trying to get a hope in hell to get back to Trinidad. This is not how you run a nation. This is not how you run a country. This is not how you... The people of Tobago tonight, I want to tell you, somebody sent me a message today saying, somebody from inside the HDC, and she sent me this message saying, they must beg you, vote for you, dance for you, and sleep with you to get a house. That is the PNM housing policy. Come on, man. What is going on in this country? The people of Trinidad and Tobago need to wake up, shake up, and understand all these clowns and jackass cats working for you. They are not royalty. They're not there by design or by divine providence. You have voted them in. You could vote them out. How you could tell me people have to be sleeping, giving sex to public officials to get a house? This is madness. How is this country being run like this? How? You have to tell me. How are we not fed up yet? I wanted to share the CNC3 feed that said it is a smaller boat and a slower boat that replacing the two ferries. The PNM is destroying Tobago. It is completely destroying Tobago. And I am telling you tonight why. The PNM has cut a deal with Sandals Chain for no competition. Sandals is coming to literally dominate the tourist product in Tobago. And there must be such rampant unemployment outside of the fence. If you ever go to Sandals, no matter where it is in the world, you're not really in that country, you know, because you don't live inside Sandals, all inclusive. Their beach, their water, their sand. The only people from the country that interact with you are people who work for that company. And Sandals needs there to be rampant unemployment in Tobago. And it must be difficult for Tobagonians to come to Trinidad for jobs. It must be frustrating to the point that when you hire people and give them substandard wages and work their ass to the bone, they shut them out and they take it because they know 500 like them outside the fence begging for work, face press up against the fence. Give me a end, man have to eat. This is what is going on in Tobago. Now, in this country, the PNM, Keith Rowley told the band of sycophants gathered at the PNM Sports Day. He didn't call it Trinidad and Tobago Day of Peace. No healing, no sports day for the country. He gone back to his PNM sycophants because he retreats to where his support comes from. But I tell him, Keith Rowley, don't call no election because you will lose. Trinidad has never hated a prime minister like they hate you. You are despised the length and breadth of this country. I know people who tell me, they walk up to me and they tell me straight to my face. He said, don't tell me, I know, I tell you PNM and I'm vexed and I'm ashamed and I'm sorry. They're apologizing for you. They're apologizing for them voting for you. You've made a mess of Tobago. You've destroyed it. You've destroyed the country. But you went to tell your sycophants that when PNM in power, things get better. When? When has that ever been the case? And I'm not batting for the UNC because they do the bullshit too. But when has the PNM... I sat with my cousin today who plays golf with Brian Jackass Lara. And I told my cousin the reason I think Brian Lara is a jackass of epic proportions is because Brian Lara sanitized PNM theft with his name. He took his brand. So now you could tell me in this argument, but he's a world-class cricketer. Yes. But he's a jackass for upholding the theft that went on in Taruba. So his name big and he picture there knocking the ball. But you all stole, the PNM stole $1 billion for it. So the people are distracted from saying you stole the money by saying it is Lara Stadium. We need now, as a people, to wake up and shake up and call everything as it is. You cannot continue along this road. You cannot. Businesses are folding up. People are quietly leaving this country. They are handing over this country to the financier investor class behind the PNM. This is what they came to do. To destroy the economy of Trinidad and Tobago so the cash-rich bandit clan could buy up everything. And you and me have a responsibility now. Because we cannot continue this way. Yeah? So, Saturday at 6 o'clock, we will be at 17 Caroni Savannah Road as we take this show on the road. And on the 28th, 2 weeks later, I'll give you the address of that one to let you know. Pep is on the move. One of the lawyers I just called is in the Senate, so he couldn't take the call. 58 Independence Avenue, San Fernando. This Saturday at 6, and the meeting the speakers will start at 6:30. So for those who have to go to mosque and stuff and come back, because I forgot, I just planning getting PEP on the road because people calling for meetings. I forgot to check and see what was happening where any of our religions were concerned. I apologize for that. So we will make sure and overflow beyond and start our real program after 7. And on the 28th of June, we will be at, I just read it, right? Independence Avenue in San Fernando. 58 Independence Avenue, San Fernando. That's our next 2 events. We're working on Tobago. The only reason I keep talking about working on Tobago, coming to Tobago, is because of the whole nonsense with the transportation to go to Tobago. So we want to make sure that we come into Tobago when nothing going on. No long weekend, no nothing. So that whatever is going on, we still, if you have to stand up and wait in the airport for 2 days, you gotta do it. Yeah? So next week, Saturday. This Saturday, 17 Caroni Savannah Road. Bring all your friends. Bring all your family. People ask me, how can we accelerate the process? I say, let the media continue to try to ignore us, but let social media show 10,000 of you all in Caroni Savannah Road. Come out in your numbers. This Saturday. Let's not just complain anymore. Let's fix this.
Your vote will decide
Let's fix it.
our destiny.
Let's fire all.
Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can foretell our country's fate. Move and use it well before it's too late. If it is that who you're voting, fail beyond a doubt. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is they prove it to be only full amount. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out.
Saturday, the reason we're doing Saturday is to start the process, and we're doing something called a whistle stop tour. I see Keith Rowley read replay, and he's saying to the nation that he is going to be on the road too. Keith Rowley, go to the people and let them talk to you. Let them tell you how they feel. Let them tell you. Yeah?
Disney time is now.
All our meetings have an open mic. Come talk.
Just as how you vote them in. Vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. State your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy.
No mercy.
Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out of power. Dominate your reign. Let's put our country together again.
Keith Rowley need to get his marching papers from the top down. Faris Al-Rawi, you're fired. Colm Embert, you're fired. Fitzgerald Hines, you're fired. Stuart Young, you're fired. Bring out every one of these jackasses, these failures of government. Terence Dialsing, for the 3 people who contracted HIV on your watch, you're fired. For Mr. Christopher Phillip, who died outside that hospital like a dog, you're fired. Bring out Woodman, bring out Anthony Garcia and tell him for your nonsense, your foolishness, and your inability to function in public office. You're fired. Bring all of them out and fire them. Fire them with total disdain. Remove them from office. Fire them. And when the yellow and steady crew come to you to beg for your vote, say, you fired too, or you had your chance. Miss me with that bullshit, you had your chance. Don't tell me about box drain your bill. Tell me about how much oil passed through this country and what we get fit. Give me the gas price, or you fool we. Make jackasses of the people. Fire all. Fire all. Clean house.
For 30 years, you voting them in. And there's only
55 years.
as soon as you win,
They forget you.
they give you big words and enslave your soul. Promising you roads and giving potholes.
Promising your roads and giving potholes. Fitzgerald Hines told the people of Morva that you're not entitled to roads. That's not government job. Government job is not to give you roads. Government job is not to give you sidewalk. Government job is not to give you jobs. Then what, Fitzgerald Hines, do you think government job is? What do you think it is? What do you think you have that nice work for, the nice salary? What do you think it's for? What do you think your role is? When you get paid at the end of the month, what do you think they're giving you that money for? What do you think the House of Representatives mean, Fitzgerald Hines? What do you think the cabinet and the government and a ministerial position means? You are the Minister of Public Utilities. That means you are responsible for the distribution of water and electricity through this country. Through the length and breadth of this country, any failure in that service, it is your responsibility. And in a nation of people with integrity, you would have been fired so long ago, your ass would have been blowing in the breeze. But you're here to make fools of people. That's what y'all are here to do. To take advantage of those same people in Morpher. To keep them dumb down and foolish. To keep them voting for PNM red and ready nonsense. Like the people in Tobago, poor souls, the THA, raping them day and night, black as white. And they can't move. They don't know what to do. Because the UNC did bullshit and went over there to buy them with iPhone. You didn't go and interact with the people. You come out and pelt a stone like always try to do in Diego Martin. And that's why you will always fail to expand beyond the Caroni Bridge. Because the work that you do inside Caroni, you don't do outside. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago see that. That is why they last year that Calcutta ship talk. That is why it got traction. They wasn't just being racist. You just move so. You just move so. And you need to stop that bullshit, UNC. You need to start thinking like a national party. Don't say you're looking for a party to join up with like a COP so that you could work in the corridor. Don't go looking for a Tobago party to disguise yourself so you could work in Tobago. Deal with people from a position of respect. Come with your programs. Fire Rodney Charles. Rodney Charles is a jackass of class. He has his PhD in jackassery. Rodney Charles shouldn't be advising anybody. That is not how you campaign in a country of people in 2017. People have access to information. They may be victims of a PNM education, but they have access to information and they're not stupid. So you need to stop treating them like they're stupid. Stop this idea of a t-shirt and a roti and a bottle of rum and an iPhone and a two blues. Stop that. Talk to the young people. Tell them what your plans are for them. The Progressive Empowerment Party is building our entire contract with the people of Trinidad and Tobago on home ownership as the underpinning point to rebuild the communities. We intend to decentralize government back to the communities. So under a Progressive Empowerment Party government, you will have a supervisor of health, a supervisor of education, a supervisor of public works, a supervisor of public utilities, and an assistant commissioner of police in your constituency, dealing with your constituency, funded by central government. So if the budget is 60 billion and 30 billion of that 60 billion is constituency management, then look your $800 million. Account to the exchequer when you're done. Because you say that your budget is this. These are the schools, these are the hospitals, these are the health centers, this is the police stations that you need, this is what you have to buy, this is the water system, the electricity system, this is the community centers, the green parks, this is your plan and your program for this year for the $800 million that you get. Account to the exchequer after, and if you can't account for it, go to jail. That's how the country needs to run. And we will ensure from the top down, from central government, from the treasury, we will guarantee every first-time homeowner in this country your right to own a home. We will enshrine it in the Constitution that the state, as long as it has the ability, will help everybody own a home. We will shut the HDC down, disband it to the four winds, and we will sell every HDC property to the people living within it. So the people who own 6 and 7 HDC properties, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. You better be living in one. Because if you're playing landlord with state property, you're losing all. Whoever living inside it, because we will do a census and an audit. And if nobody living inside it, we'll reclaim it and cancel it. We will put all for sale at market value. And we will offer every Trinidadian the opportunity to own a home, 0 deposit, 0 interest for 30 years. And if you want to know where that money money coming from? Half the money or they pick up and hand Dupre to bail out Clico would have paid for 200,000 houses. So miss me with all your high class bullshit talk. You understand? This is a country that we need to return it back to the hands of the people, the stakeholders. This is who I am fighting for. We will rebuild our communities. Proper schools. We will zone our schools. You will go to school in the community that mommy and daddy own a house in, so they could join the PTA, so they could look to work in their constituency. We will make sure that we will cap contractors not being able to earn more than $5 million, and interlocking contractors and shareholders on multiple companies. All that is fine and fraud. We will expose and unmask the white collar criminals from the Chamber of Commerce and the Manufacturers Association, wherever all they're hiding. We come in the hole behind you, and we're going to undo all of this. We're going to unmask all of this. This is how you all play games with the people and their money. This is how you all hide and steal, so your children can be in Las Vegas tonight and smoking cigar on taxpayers' money. People can't get a bed in the hospital. Police, and I don't want to be jamming police, because the conditions under which our police service working is abysmal and abominable. We need to go into all of those police stations and put proper facilities in place. So when you fire a police officer, you make sure that you're firing somebody from a job that pays well, that gives opportunities for advancement. If you go and get a degree, you will automatically get your stripe. Get a master's in criminology, get your doctorate. Partner, you are automatic assistant commissioner of police. We need you with knowledge and experience. We will encourage it. We will make sure that you get paid commensurate with your experience and your knowledge. Tax-free status. We need that more from you than from senators. Wasting time in a Senate that we do not need. We have a Senate that we do not need. Funded by the taxpayers and the Treasury that we do not need. Hundreds of millions of dollars wasted that we do not need. We need to flip the script, turn it around, come back to a country that really runs properly. That's where we need to go. Our constituencies is what we are going to focus on. That is the whole idea behind a progressive empowerment party. We will empower the citizens. I tell Trinidad, and I keep saying this, our first day, our first job, we will not end until recall legislation is law. Until you have the ability to fire us and any other member of parliament ever elected into power. If they do not deliver what they promise to deliver, you should have the right to recall them. Yes?
Yeah. Revelation.
Drive food prices through the ground. So all them money launderers that hiding behind food import companies, importing $5 billion out of food, because there's no food growing in Trinidad, and washing narco dollars in Trinidad. All that after done. All that after done. Well, you know what really going on in this country?
He promised the fire next time. And who ain't there, the bad news, who ain't there, bad news, who ain't there, the bad news, who ain't there, bad news, talk at all, you mocking pretender. I'm checking lyrics and I'm confidence you. Far too long, you're fooling the children, telling the heaven, wash education, doomsday reach, wipe and you repeat, cause the children.
All of y'all who posting where we need to come, contact Felicia Holder. She's on the thread. Lima is on the thread. Ali G is on the thread. Dilworth is on the thread. David Ramjohn on the thread. All the rest of the executive, they're on the thread. Find them, message them, tell them, y'all want us to come? We come in. We go in 41 constituencies. We're doing something called a whistle stop tour. Everything I'm telling you tonight, we will tell you in person. Come and meet the party. Come and join. Own your party. But I'm telling you this. Don't say that you want change and stay home Saturday. Come out in your numbers from everywhere. Show them that we the people standing up now. We will get the change that we need in this country when we the people stand together. One people under one flag. Yes? End the racism. End the tribalism. End the foolishness. End it.
Next time. And who ain't there, the badly wounded, who ain't there, badly wounded, who ain't there, the badly wounded, who ain't there, badly wounded. Talk your talk, you mocking pretender. Check your lyrics and I'm confidence, you're far too long. You're fooling the children, telling the heaven, wash education, doomsday reach, and you retreat, the children coming.
Thank all of you who are with us tonight. Please, peptrinbago@gmail.com. If you've never heard it before, that is the email address of the party. Send your information. We're building out. We're setting up offices. We are launching. We're going Chaguanas West on 17th, that is this Saturday, to launch our executive in Chaguanas West. Every time we stop, when we go San Fernando West, we will be launching our San Fernando West constituency executive. So everywhere we leave you a place where you could join and build your party on the ground. Our goal is to get ready for elections. We are writing a contract with the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and we are going to give you, even if you do not vote for us, take our manifesto and go to Red and Ready and Yellow and Steady and tell them, if you want my vote, do this. Yes, because we need to fix this country, and step one is to go and take the people's money and bring it back and give it to them. We promise you that. See you on Saturday. Do not miss the opportunity to come out in your numbers. Bring your family. We have chairs. If you need to sit down, come out. Be a part of the organization. This is your party. Come and take control. Come and build it. Yes? See all of you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.